Hello everyone, it is Arcast12568 here with
Quick Shatter XZ.
And today we have Andromeda versus Cronus, Week 11, Game 1. Gonna be a great game.
Yeah, right now we just waiting for Andromeda to send me their SR cap, and then we start the game. As we wait and let people join. See the fellow team battle each other.
Should be one great game. I can't wait.
Yeah, especially we all know that Andromeda. I don't think they go goats normally, especially how Busan say goats mad. Like farming goats and also farming widows.
Should be great to see.
Yeah, right now Andromeda taking a while just to send me their SR cap. Okay, there we go. Okay, we got their SR cap. Now let me ask both teams are ready and start the game. Alright, I send them both a message. Alright. Now I could just read the chat on my computer, then okay, we got both teams are ready, and here we go.
And it is going to be Busan as the first map.
What do you think both teams might play here?
What both teams might play? I mean, this is my first game I'm casting in this league, so I have no clue.
Well, I feel like the floss them down. They might go goats or triple deeps. Worth their hamming.
Yes, that'd be very interesting. Andromeda are the blue and Cronus are the red. Should be very interesting to see on this, on Busan, and on all control point maps or King of the Hill maps. They're the red and the blue are essentially equals. There is no defense or attack on this map. And very quickly, we're gonna see this dive versus Snoats come out here. There's a dive with a soldier, so it's not a full dive, doesn't have the Tracer Genji, it does have the Genji though, it does have the tanks, the supports, just has that soldier, which they are looking in case there is a ferret in the sky from Cronus. And Cronus gonna be running this multi-tank, it is the GOATS composition.
Yeah, let's see how would Andromeda counter this goat.
Yep. It is going to be the Zen goats, not the original form, but possibly the best. And Royal!
And Royal gets instantly deleted as soon as he jumped in. He took a chance to stay alive.
Yes, he jumped in, didn't really get any persons with him, just immediately got taken out. Zen and Mercy both fall as well, so that's one support for each team down. Cronus do have more supports in their arsenal though, and there are the rest of the picks coming in from Cronus onto Andromeda. That's going to be the first take from Cronus. And now the swaps come in. All the swaps coming in. No doubt the Genji going back to swap onto the Zenyatta. And we're going to see a good old Zen Goats versus a Zen Goats composition.
I feel like Andromeda, they don't have much ults right now, so I feel like Cronus might win this push as Andromeda precisely kill one of the healers.
Well, yeah, when Andromeda they had to swap off, like they had to swap their comp, they're gonna not have any ults. They're gonna need to now rebuild those ults up, and now those ults. Yes, coming in for Cronus, able to take you out, but no one dies from that shatter, and it's actually the Reinhardt who hit that shatter who goes down first. Rally, bomb, sound barrier from both sides all come in. Now bomb coming in from Yuki. No kills from that bomb. There's the grab. It's just a huge ult fight. It's an ult after ult. Very few picks coming in there. There is Royal going down. He was the only ult for Andromeda. Stealth are going to have that ult in just a second here, but they do not have that big kill ult that they need. They do have the defensive ult though, but it's not going to work out here. They're just taking casualties here. The Diva, the Lucio both go down. Now the Zarya, that is the reset, and the Zen falls as well. That is the complete reset. Everyone from Andromeda is going to have to come back. Now they have the ult advantage, because they came in with an ult deficit. Cronus used their ults, they used their ult advantage, won the fight. Now they're going to be at the ult disadvantage, and Andromeda are going to come in with their 4 ults to the 2 that Cronus are going to have.
And now Cronus, well, Andromeda is just going to push the bomb, and they don't have. And a huge grab each by the block. Here comes big grab, block shatter, and here comes the big bomb. Silver Boob getting 2. And we'll see, Cronus would take 0 to 99 on first match. Well, and first point.
Yes, and you can't say it better than the game can. Team kill. Everyone goes down there. The longer that fight went on, the more it favored Cronus, because they, at the very beginning, were at the ult deficit. But if you looked at the charges given in the fight, they would have had 5 ults to Andromeda's 4. They would have built up those ults throughout the game quicker than Andromeda would have been able to build up their other ults. So the longer that fight went on, the more ult charge that Cronus would be able to get, the more it favors them in that fight, and that's exactly what happened. They were able to build up their ults, just overwhelm Andromeda with their ult advantage throughout the fight. Or not throughout the fight, but later on in the fight. And now we're going to see the Zen Goats composition coming out from Cronus again, and it's going to be versus this dive with a Widow.
Well, Widow had to be clicking the heads because it won't do very much if you just click the body.
Yes, but 300 damage is 2 shots to take out a good tank.
Oh, and a clean headshot, but it would let up the Diva.
But it's still going to be a Lucio.
We'll pick off the Lucio. And both healers are down.
Genji as well. There are still some picks coming in the form of the Squirtle, but that's not going to be enough picks to win the fight for Andromeda. They're still going to take more casualties than Cronus will. They're able to stall, or not stall, but stagger Diva there at the very end. Diva unable to escape. Just more time lost. Now Stealth going to go onto that Pharah.
They got a pharmacy.
Yes, they're just running the range. They're running the Widow. They're running the Pharah. You cannot get that. You cannot let goats get so close to you to be able to utilize that tank, that brawl advantage that they initially come in with. With that Pharah and the Widow, they can just stay away and just go in, put the damage in, find a pick here and there, and then eventually push in onto the point and take it. That is their plan coming in here. Sight's gonna use from the Widow. Stand still. There is a shatter and it gets nothing.
Nobody. The Winston luckily jumped in the air.
He was able to get out. Still, even though that shatter got nothing, the picks are still coming through from both sides. Zen is down, but it's not enough. Andromeda able to get 1 pick, but just overwhelmed with the picks once again. Now the Brig here, and is able to... Yeah, the tanks come in. Very good teamwork there.
Yeah. Right now they have rally. But let's see how will they play out. That was a very nice jump hack by the Winston, dodging the shadow from Silver.
Yes, and now Tickles is going to be running that Reaper. Reaper just a shotgun's self-heal. As long as he's just consistently hitting a tank's body, he really can't die. There are the... Oh, but he immediately gets done! He immediately got done by the Brig. I don't know how to pronounce that name correctly. Joe came in with a last-ditch effort, and it's not going to be enough to get that. Res does fall. All the ults are coming through. You see the Primal Rage, the Sound Barriers, the Transcendence, the Grabs, all of it coming through. Does not seem to be enough for Andromeda for the moment. and that bomb gets nothing. Block coming in, doesn't get anything, but the picks still come through. Just the goats able to overwhelm Andromeda here, because Andromeda has to come in onto the point in that overtime to keep the point alive, and that just allows goats to just like collapse in on Andromeda and just take him out with their brawl. And that is exactly what we saw both maps.
Silver Boot. This guy was actually popping off in the first round of the map. Where round goes from both sides. Like,
blocks the shatter and hits his own with the combination of the Diva Bomb to win that sub-map.
Yeah, that's the only problem in Ghost. If you take down one of the healers like the Zen or the Rhine, that's it. Everybody would fall apart.
Yeah.
Because then there's no shield for the Diva Bomb to hide.
Yeah, and
so
that's
like easy wipeout.
Yeah, and that's all 4 cards go to Cronus there. It was all 3 supports and the Zarya. Zarya, the only tank that got a card there. Not that surprised though, as Zarya is the main damage dealer. You get Zarya 200, you just bubble Reinhardt a few times, he goes in, you get that 100 charge on the Zarya, and you're just able to melt everyone down. That's their main source of damage. That's why they were the only tank from their team to get the card. And then the 3 supports.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, now I'm gonna fix something with... I'm gonna just fix something with my audio real quick. Okay, I can now hear everything. Yes, and we are going to Volskaya, the best Russian map in the game. Only Russian map in the game. Still the best. Still the best, though. If it's the only one, it has to be the best.
Well, let's see what map, normally I call it. I love to see Bunker on this point. Is Bunker a GOAT? I won't say Dive is still a best option, but it depends how you play it out. Because there's so much wide open area and so much high ground to get on with Bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see what both teams, well, the defending team will play out.
Yeah, well, Volskaya is so great because you have, you have 2 big comps. You have Bunker and you have Goats. 2 big comps, right? And those 2 comps, like, all their positives are accentuated and all their negatives are diminished. But even though you have those 2 big comps, it's like a 2-trick pony, you still are able to run some oddball comps, like a Dive or a Symmetra Tour comp on this map and still be able to win. It's just so diverse, while also having that if you want to run those just steady comps that you know are going to provide what you need, you can still run them. And if you want to go a bit off the wall, you can still do that as well. It's a very, very good map, very diverse. And that's exactly what we're going to see here.
Yeah, we're gonna see a Bunker here with a Widow and a Hog. Normally Hog wouldn't be played out in Bunker because Diva would support more and could stall on point way longer than Hog. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong, because once Hog gets pinned or stunned by the break, that's it. He's not gonna very do much. But let's see how this Hog would be played out.
Well, I actually prefer the Hog on the Bunker defense instead of the Diva. Because Diva has 2 seconds of defense. Hog can hook anything, bring it right into the Bastion, or even if there's something diving the Bastion, just a straight hook. We're going to see this Goats comp try and take out this Bunker, though. They're going to give that charge to the Zarya, eat up from the Diva. The Widow takes a huge amount of damage, though. No clue where that Widow is. Cronus realize what's going on, that they're going to have to take out this Bunker. Come in, hook the Reinhardt, but he gets bubbled. Huge charge from the Zarya right now. Death onto Royal, but Joe able to res it. Gonna get immediately pushed. Both supports are now down on Andromeda. The rest of the team just gonna crumble here. Bastion falls, Arisa, Widow, only Hog left. It's just a matter of Hog will die, just will he die before anyone else respawns?
Yeah, I could see what went wrong, because they were just playing right next to stairs, so all Cronus had to do is just walk up those stairs and battle them out right there. Especially how the Zarya had high charge before fight.
Yeah, that's the... That is why you have the Zarya in the Goats comp, because the Zarya is able to bubble the tanks as they go in, bubble the Reinhardt, gain 80 charge almost instantaneously, and then that's huge damage, especially if you have the skill to really put in the damage. You're gonna see that.
Coming through.
Yes, Royal falls. There is a Transcendence from the Zen, just keeping the team alive while they attack in. Cronus gonna at least get a tick here. No ults from Andromeda to counter this out while Cronus still have it. 3, about to have 4 ults. They're not gonna get any counters here. It's really just how long can Andromeda stall this out, and can they stall it out long enough to get those ults? First pick about to be taken here. There it is. Royal falls. Now Fran as well. It's just a trickle in, and they're now running that Goats comp, the Zen Goats comp. They're just running in, trying to cause as much overtime as, or not overtime, but just as much stall as possible. There's the sound barrier coming in from Squirrel. No ults are getting even allowed to be built up here. There's still a stall. It's at 99.9. 99.9. The Shatter comes in just to kill the Lucio. That's it. You had the steady supply of ults from Cronus. They had the ults that they could use. Andromeda had none to speak of. Every time they come in, take them out. Just wipe them out. They needed to use an ult to kill one person, to just set it right there, end it. They had the ults too. Andromeda just didn't.
Well, it seems like I call it, before the fight even started, the Zen was picked up very early. If only we could get a replay to see what happened.
Yeah. And you also have the fact that Andromeda, they swapped their comp there. They swapped their comp up to count, like, to mirror the Zen Goats. And that right there, you're gonna be at an ult deficit no matter what you do at that point. So it might have just been better if they just went stall characters and not try and do the Zen Goats, because they've already shown that they really can't prove that they can beat the Zen Goats from Cronus with that ult disadvantage. They didn't beat it on the first map, which was Busan. They haven't beaten it here. They need to learn from that mistake, not go Zen Goats after they've already lost a fight to Zen Goats.
Yeah.
That does seem like
you can't counter their Goats. Your only option is to go Somber Goats. The Somber Goats is the hard counter to Zen Goats, or any other type of Goats.
Yeah.
But right now we see Ana Goats, which is not bad because a lot of mana boost and heals coming through. But the lack of damage right there. It seems like Andromeda would run the 3-2-1. Very, like, what was Genji?
Now they're running a 4-1-1. 1 tank, 1 healer, and 4 DPS. This is also a counter to Goats comp. As I said, you can be quite a bit off the walls here. It's very high damage. You have just the huge damage people. You have the Junkrat, you have the Pharah, you have the Genji who's able to get in there if there's anyone low, just get the kill, and then you have Sabu, sorry, who's able to hack everything. Alright, there Joe falls, but Pyro as well, so 1 down each. Yuka gonna go down in turn though, so 1 tank is gone, and the only support for Andromeda is gone as well. Still supports alive for Cronus, but the Ana gets taken out. Lucio is hacked. Royal does fall though, and Royal is the only ult that Andromeda has. It's only the Riptide they have right now. They're about to build up the Barrage from Tickles, from the Pharah. Not quite built up yet. It's about to be built up. 98, 99, gonna be built up with 1 hit here. Squirrels just keeps on getting hacked by Fran.
Yeah, but we're getting Rally up, and here comes, will Rally be popped in?
I don't know, but that Riptire coming through, the Flame Strike came in, but didn't quite get it. A miscue there. Yes, that was a huge barrage, and that's what's going to be taking the point here, but there's also a miscue. A very subtle miscue. Once I take it, I'll go into depth on what that was. But yeah, very good barrage there, came in, just took out 3. That's taking the point right there. But Royal, he used the Riptire. Came in right as the barrage went. The barrage went, killed the target that was going to be killed by the Riptire. So immediately that Riptire was made useless. So now they don't have it. They have to start from scratch on that ult that got nothing when it could have gotten something, but it was counteracted by a different ult. So that is just one ult counteracting another and just making... Yes, they still won the fight, but now they're going to be at just a bit of a worse for that next fight.
Silver just jumping in the air and instant take out the Mercy.
And that's gonna lead to the rest of the team crumbling. If the tank or the support goes down, it's kind of over for the rest of the DPS. They have no real person to gain any ground on, and they have no one to keep them up. Not much you can do in that scenario. Tickle's gonna get res though.
Yeah, they should switch off the Junkrat by now.
Well, the Junkrat was still the first person to get ult on that team. They just horribly communicated.
The problem is, like, they don't got enough healers because right now they're pocketing the Pharah instead of the other. But let's see what this EMP would do. Probably get a big one to win the fight.
Yes. 4-man EMP. But the 6-man Salmander coming from Squirtle, taking everything out. The Blade comes in from stealth, completely taken out by the bomb. Royal gonna fall. Fran fell very early in the fight. Joe falls now. Yuki, 1 health, taken out. Tickle's gonna have to escape with their life. Has that ult. Gonna get behind here, actually. Looks like they're gonna go for a bit of a flanky shatter. Very, very sneaky here. Still, Andromeda will have that ult advantage. They came in with the ult advantage. Didn't quite win. Now they're gonna come in with the ult advantage, but once again, it's gonna be one of those situations where the fight, the longer it goes on, the better it goes for Cronus. Now it's 3, and if Anna's able to get that ult, which Anna's about to get that ult, it's now gonna be 4-4, and that ult advantage is completely gone. It's really just on the 2 people that on both teams that don't have their ults who can get it. There is going to be that Riptide coming in. Once again, it's comboed with the Barrage, and this time neither ult gets anything. Actually, no. The Riptide did take out Flock's mech. That's a huge pick. Yeah, the Brig had the ult. That's a huge pick right there. Brig's gonna have to come back in with that rally, which is still a good stall, especially if you have a lot of people on the point still, which Chronos still do. They're actually gonna save the rally here. They don't need it. They won the fight. They still have 2 ults. You can't say the same for Andromeda, sorry. Now it's just, can Andromeda take this point? At this point, you can just build up all 6 of your ults. Go in, get as many ults out as you can, and then go in 6 to, let's say, 3 ults. And that's probably your best bet. They have 210 left. They can still do that complete clean wipe strategy. See if you can't take it with any time at all.
And we have Yuki battling out the Winston.
Yes, and a swap.
And we got a Pharah from Stealth.
Yes, Tickles swapped onto the Hanzo, already 70, just swapped on this fight. Stealth goes onto the Pharah and Fran on that Lucio, so they are going to get the second healer. Both tanks. Yes, both tanks do go down. We did see the grab get used. Tickles is back, so it's still only both the main tanks down, but there is Royal's death. But it's followed by Squirtle, followed by Joe. Just everyone's dying in tow now. Tickles falls as well. That's going to be the end of the fight right there for Andromeda. They're going to have to back up, try and get any ult charge they can, just 100% not die here. They need to just build up those ults, not use any, build them up, then just do a junk push, get as many ults out as they can, build up the last few ults that they need on that junk push, and then push up. This is their last opportunity to do that right here.
Yeah, exactly. They only got 50 seconds so far.
Yes, and they need to get... Yeah, they need to get at least one of the support ults out from Chronos, because if they go in, it doesn't matter how many DPS ults you have. If you have 3 support ults, it's going to be good for your team. There is a Nano onto the Winston. Kind of lost it. We also have the Valk. There's our Riptide and the Sound Barrier. Flock goes down. The Riptide from Royal. Yes, that Riptide is gone. Flock, though, is not in the fight. Gonna have to respawn here. Joe getting pushed by the Winston, still alive. And there are the picks coming in out of nowhere. The Brig, Anna, and Zarya all go down. This is Andromeda's best shot right here. There is everything they have. They're going in. There's the counter bomb from Flock. Gets taken out. Nothing is killed by the bomb except for the turret by Yuki. We do see the rally coming in. We're going to see a grab from Pyro coming in as well. There's a Dragon Cell coming from a Tickles. Trying to save this point, but there is the grab coming in. That the pick after pick after pick. We now see the stall picks coming in from Cronus. They do not want to go to another round. They do not want to have another 4 minutes with just sitting there trying to take the point. They now are swapping they're swapping their entire comp up here. They're gonna have to wait quite a while to get those ults up, and they're just being taken out by the Pharaoh, who's just in the sky. But Joe falls, and that's actually a C9.
Exactly. Well, I call it. I think the problem is sure, 5 DPS, well 4 DPS, it could work, but they don't have enough heal. Well, health to stay on point.
Mm.
Cause don't get me wrong, like 4 DPSs could work as long as you have one tank to stay on point and battle it out.
Yeah. But there was a C9 at the very end there. To every point, there's a height cap. If you go above that, you are no longer on the point, and that's exactly what happened. Happens a lot with Pharaohs. Especially when they're the last ones there. They get just a bit too high, and they can't get back down by the time it's already too late. And that's exactly what we saw there.
Well, yeah, that's the only problem on certain maps, like Busan for example. Busan is only good on one map for Pharah. The others is like, well, the other two is still good, but one is better than the other. Now we're gonna move on to the Numbani.
Numbani.
Might see a Widow on this map.
I would not doubt, although I do think it's still going to be this bunker, the dive, and the goats, because that's really the only comps that have been running. You're going to see the goats come out from Cronus, maybe a bunker, probably a dive and a bunker from Andromeda, because you can run those comps. You can run goats on almost every map. Even if it's not a goats map, you can still brute force it if your team is good enough. But on a map like Numbani, there's a lot of high ground, and the point is on the low ground. And it's almost completely surrounded by the high ground. So you can have a dive, where you dive up onto the high ground, take out the DPS, you take out a soldier, and like, let's say you're in conf, right? You run a dive, there should be a soldier on the high ground, maybe a McCree, you dive up, you take them out, and now you have a 5v6, and you can look in onto the point, see everything, because it's all in the open, and then pick and choose your targets, and you can just subtly like whittle them down. If you run the bunker, you all grouped up, and you just put as much health and as damage into anything that comes in. So it should be really interesting to see how they run these comps and how they really maneuver around each other on this map.
Yeah, well, there's only one map that's not really good for goats, is Ilios Well. Because, well, Winston Ghost is good.
Well, I'd say Route 66 is a great 4 DPS map. It's in the higher levels of play, like the contender scene, the tier 2 scenes. It was the first map. Route 66 was the first map that they didn't run complete goats on. You saw the quad DPS. They were still trying to figure out the strategies, but they were running that comp, and they were succeeding every now and then with it. They were able to beat the goats with that quad DPS on Route 66, and that was the first real map that people realized goat isn't the best on every single thing. So.
Exactly.
Numbani still, if that first point is taken, it's very much a goats. You still have a bit of high ground, so you can still run the dive. Bunker, it's not the best at that point, especially if you get to the third. The high ground's almost non-existent. It's definitely best for some sort of goats composition. But the second point is kind of the in-between. It's second, it's in the middle, first and third, it's in between, it's that middle ground. Still quite a bit of high ground, but still a lot of close quarters on the point. So, very interesting to see what both teams go with and just how they maneuver around each other, as I said earlier.
I agree, because normally Overwatch is a team-based game where comps are supposed to win your match or whatever and gain an SR instead of losing them. Nowadays, I call it, on console you barely see goats like in the high rank, like all of that. They've normally anchor or dive. But on PC and all those components, you see a lot of goats in the high masters and high grandmasters. For some odd reason.
Yeah. Well.
Alright. There's gonna be a swap right now for Jake and Oil.
Well, one reason I think that GOATS isn't used that much is because people just don't like it. It's a comp that a lot of people consider as cheap. They've probably had it where they go in and they're about to win and the enemy team goes GOATS and they just win. And it's like, oh, that's cheap. Let's not run GOATS. It's so cheap. But it's like at that high level, especially on console, you have a lot more people who don't want to do that. You have people who I want to play McCree. I want to play Doomfist. Does that go into GOATS? You can brute force it. You can brute force a lot of things with anything. You can run any comp, any person in any comp. Will it work? Probably. Probably not. So people are just like, I don't want to figure out if I can run Doom into a GOATS comp, especially with 5 other people that don't train every single day together. So to run GOATS, you really have to have that core synergy between your team, and at that high rank, it's solo queue or like duo. They're not going to have that synergy. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And on
right now, I call it. Wait, what happened? You was about to say something?
No, you can go. You can go. Yep.
Oh no, I'm just saying that we have to wait for Andromeda to give us a confirm that they are ready.
Yeah, and PC, you can go to any stream and find a bunch of PC players because PC is a lot more popular than PS, like the consoles, right? So you can go and I can study that. I can study this streamer and figure out how they play in this, and I can then play with them. And it's like I'm studying their tapes. I can then play with them. So I get to that level. I studied these 5 people, and I get these 5 people in the game. We can run GOATS. I can lead the team. I've studied all their tapes. You can do that a lot more effectively because everyone knows each other at that area in the game on PC.
Yeah, I agree.
It's also a lot higher SR in the top 500s, so everyone's just quite a lot better in, like, rank 500s better on PC than it is on the consoles. So, a lot of different reasons. Yes, we are indeed just waiting on the ready from the teams.
Well, I have a question. Can coach play a game, right? They can't.
I don't think so. Unless they're a member of the team.
Yeah, but let me ask the mods.
Unless they're a player coach. Which at that point would just be like the team leader. Or like a senior member. But I don't think.
Both teams are ready? No, you can. It depends if the player is a coach at the same time. Which I don't see the point in doing that. Because don't get me wrong, this is the only season I'm playing in this league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be a coach because I'd rather do that. But let's see how both teams would be played out right here and right now. I might see dive. A lot of dive comp will work here.
I'm calling it. Cronus gonna be running the GOATS comp. And
maybe, yeah.
They're definitely going to be running it on attack, and I'm going to say Andromeda is also going to be running a dive on attack. For defense, that's where it gets interesting. Because Cronus could be running GOATS, or they could be running a bunker. Ooh, Andromeda.
From one side, and then the other side will go Zenko.
Both teams running this GOATS comp. It's going to devolve into these GOATS, a GOATS battle. This time Andromeda arguably running the better GOATS comp here. They have the Zen over the Ana. Zen can pile in a lot more damage, while Ana can pile in a lot more heals. It's really a difference of it that old.
Anti-grenade could just win you a fight instantly.
Yeah.
Anti-grenade your target, and then you storm rush them.
Yeah, especially if you're anti all 6, or just even all 3 of their tanks. If all 3 of the tanks go by, like, that can't get healed, that's 1,500, I think, just like, health you cannot heal. And in the goats, that's gonna drain so fast. It's gonna be Zen goats from Andromeda versus this Sombrous Zen goat. Oh no, they're just gonna be running Zen goats. Just the Zen goats.
Just to scout out, like, to see who they want or whatever.
That happens. Yuki gonna be on the point here. Everyone from Andromeda think everyone's going below, but no. They played themselves there. They overthought that.
Instantly, Jake picked off the Lucio, and a huge boot.
Jack falls as well. It's just pick for pick. There's just one after another, and it's just trading back and forth. It's still even here. Flock does get demeched. Still there though.
Is this winnable?
It is winnable for both teams at this point. I don't think there's been a single double kill per team. I think it's right there, Tickles and Stealth. I think that's the first 2 deaths in a row from a team. I think it's just been death from opposite teams swapping in. And now, 3rd pick in a row onto Andromeda from Cronus. That's really going to be the beginning of the end there. That is going to be the take for Cronus. But very, very interesting thing happened there. Andromeda was on the high ground. They were ready on the high ground. 30 seconds go by. No one's come in. So they drop thinking it's going to be at the bottom. Now, what happened, Pyro swapped off the Sombra onto the Zarya. That took time. So by the time they were able to get in, they all go high ground. And they're like, I believe they went center, faked it out, and then went high. And at that point, Andromeda's like, oh, they must be going below. No, they're not. And Cronus just coming from the high ground, and just, they now have the high ground advantage. The D.Va goes up, immediately taken out, nothing there to help him. Because they went up alone, because everyone else dove back down, and they're the only one that can get up that high that quick. They're immediately taken out, and that's just first pick, and it just snowballs from there. Shatter comes through, the rally as well, counters Shatter. Grab Sound Barrier Transcendence, bomb. Everything.
And a bomb picking up 2 of the key components.
That.
And it seems like Cronus will win this ghost battle right here.
Where did the bomb land? Do you know?
Yeah, it landed on top of them, behind the rank shield a little.
No, it actually landed. If you go to the point, and just, there's a sign that says Unity Plaza, right above a car, the bomb landed on there. And then slid down, and exploded midair. That might just be the perfect bomb. Took 2 out. Perfect use of the environment there. Luck or not, that was great. There's the counter bomb coming in from Yuka. Doesn't get anything. Ults now just being used. Andromeda gonna have to take this point here. Cannot afford. You see the rally, the transcendence, the grab as well. And Jack first one to go down, and immediately once the Reinhardt goes down for Andromeda's Cronus, Silver, he immediately knows, I had the Shatter, nothing to stop it. Boom, hammered down, immediately takes out. And now the rest of Andromeda just gonna fall here, or just escape. Probably going to die. Joe not looking the best caught out here. Fran possibly gonna survive here. Actually looks like they will survive. The tanks now have come back out, but they're now down a few supports. They're now just gonna get picked off, and that's not good. They're just getting picked off as they come out. The point's almost at the end. You cannot have this stall, this stagger, not even getting the point this late into the game. We're gonna see the transcendence should come out from Stealth just to save the point. Now everyone's gonna come back. There's the grab, the bomb, the sound barrier, transcendence, shatter, all of it. Yeah, there's nothing they can do. They're caught in the grab. I'm pretty sure Joe would have died as well if he didn't die just before that, or his shield would have saved them. One of the two would have happened, but he's dead. Nothing to stop it. The Reinhardt hasn't come out. No bubbles coming in. D.Va can't do anything about it. Nothing you can do to save them. That is third taken in 3:37.
To be honest, I could see of what happened in the before the point had been capped, right? Yuki, he went above by himself and got deleted out of mech. So that caused, I call it, a lack of damage and support to the shield of Ryan. So all I call it, Cronus had to do is just storm and rush them.
Yeah. Well, what caused that death was Yuki went out to go save people. The D.Va, one of the great jobs that gets almost never done by lower ranked D.Vas, is to go out and save the supports. If the supports are in danger, the D.Va comes in, just goes in, tries and saves them, right? The fight, the picks came in so staggered from each other that by the time the last people died, the people who died first were able to come back in. So then they come in, they're alone, they come in, and they get completely taken out. And then it's just a constant cycle, and you can't come back from that. They had to use a transcendence just to get on the point, just to reset for that 5-10 seconds. And then by then, they're already down. They don't have the support ults, they don't have the tank ults, and they're just going to get taken out by the grab and bomb combo. Not to mention that, a sound barrier and a shatter as well were coming at the same time. There's nothing really they could have done. They just got put in a position where they could not do anything. They got staggered. So now we're gonna see. Ooh.
A Winston goes versus a 3-2-1 setup.
A Winston Zen Goats. This is the Dive Zen Goats versus this triple DPS, 1 tank, 2 support. So it's 1-2-3 or 3-2-1 depending on your likings, or even 2-3-1 or 2-1-3. Any of them work. And now that that Cronus do realize that this is a heavy DPS comp, they're now just kind of hiding away. Silver goes out, dives Diana, able to get the pick, gets picked. Fran gets res, but Joe falls as well. We also see Yuki fall. That just the damage just coming in from the goats. They're able to isolate and pick off. With this heavy DPS comps comes that dive variable that you need to go in. You need to somehow try and isolate a person. That's what happened to Diana, because if everyone's going out and isolating, trying to kill someone, no one's focused on your backline. Just dive the backline. And then everyone's going to have to come back in. They didn't. Anna was taken out. They came in just a tad bit too late. They were able to kill Winston and get the res on Anna, but not able to keep Anna in the fight to get any ult charge from that the rest of the fight that the Anna would have gotten in that short time that they were out. Yes, and
right now, you see the Pharaoh just raining down damage from the backline. Getting barrage very early in the fight.
Well, yeah, what can you do against the Pharaoh? Look at the people. They have Zen, Discord, and D.Va to fly after. But you can't really. You have to keep Zar. You have to keep the D.Va to make sure no one in the backline dies from the heavy DPS. And Zen, he's just trying to survive as well and put in as much damage to counteract that DPS. We do see the blade coming in. It's 2-2 right now. Ults coming in. Val Transcendence, Barrage. Fran gets res, but Yuki goes down out of mech. EMP. Huge. Zen doesn't die though. It's actually the Lucio who dies. Usually you see a Zen die from an EMP. That time it just wasn't the case. Joe gonna die here. Silver just uses that ult. Make sure the death comes through. Zen, Anna, and D.Va all go down. You can look at the kill feed. Just pick after pick after pick. Stealth 1 health. That runs and he's dead.
Yeah, it seems like Andromeda lost more than Cronus on that fight.
Yes, and here's the thing I'm really confused about right now, okay? They're running an Ana into triple DPS. That's fine, because you're running the Genji, who can utilize that nano to nano blade, take everything out in the backline, right? But they used blade, and they still have nano. Like, just spectating Genji right now, he has to stand still for the Ana to hit him. Ana has to hit 3 skinny DPS to really maximize that healing, or just pile it into the big D.Va, who, you know, it's really different than the dives just keep on coming in onto the Ana. You still have that ult. You haven't been able to use it once this whole game, I don't think. The Ana might just be a missed call here. Really don't know about the effectiveness.
I feel like they shouldn't just run a Lucio Ana and then Ryan Zarya. The comp would be fine.
But once again, a pick is taken.
Sound barrier. He's about to sound barrier, but he got deleted. And Yuki would fall off due to a Zarya boot.
Yes, and just as Andromeda had that one pick advantage, they now lose that pick advantage. The EMP comes out onto the Zen, but a very nice bubble. You're just going to see all the ults here. All the ults come through. It's not going to matter. Cronus win the third map. Now, one thing I want to point out. Pyro, the Zarya. The EMP came in very off-center, wasn't with the whole, like, getting the whole team. It was meant to kill the Zen. But what happened there, immediately, Pyro bubbled the Zen, who had Transcendence. They knew he had Transcendence, but with that bubble, you can't take him out. You just don't have the manpower as the Sombra to take out that bubble, able to get away. Everyone's there to make sure the Zen survives, and they're just able to keep him alive. He just uses Trans. They've already won the fight by that point, by the time he uses Trans, but they have it just in case. And that's a very nice bubble play from the Zarya. The off-tanks from Cronus able to just keep their backline alive. It's very, very intricate, very smart play from their off-tanks.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I feel like the only reason why Anna's not you. Well, when the Zen, he got EMP and he got stuck to 50 HP, I think nobody realized where he was. That was the problem right there. They couldn't just took out the damage dealer right there.
Well, no, what happened? He got EMP'd, immediately bubbled, fell down, but then there was a grab from the Zarya. So at that point, if you're trying to kill the Zen, oh, I gotta focus on my own, and he's getting healing at that point. He was starting to get healed back, like, healed up. His health started to increase. I'm pretty sure his health was starting to increase, and you're caught in a graph. And if you want to get to Zen, you have to jump past the graph, or go through the graph. So at that point, not only did he have the bubble to survive the initial, there's a grab there. That's essentially a bubble itself, because that is a barrier. That is a natural barrier, because if you get caught in that, Goats just collapses on you and you're dead. Especially in that overtime fight. You do not want to get caught in grab in an overtime fight if you don't have the support ults. They do not have the support ults to survive that. So therefore, it's a no-go to get in the grab, and you can't get to the Zen without going through grab. So then by then, the grab's over, he immediately uses the Transcendence. There's no way he dies at that point, because you can't kill Zen and Trans. And then by the time Trans is already over, by the time they used it, they already won. By the time it's over, they've already won the map and it's over. So
there's like high-color differences between Zen and Lucio ults. Lucio, you can still fight with the high-color Lucio by your side. But the only thing, there's a disadvantage with that Lucio, high-color Lucio ult. It doesn't stay on forever, like Transcendence. Transcendence, it stays on forever, right? But it doesn't do damage. And the Zen cannot attack while he's using it.
Oh yeah.
So, high-color, in my opinion, Transcendence should not be a thing to initiate a fight with. It should be a thing to save a fight.
Well, this Transcendence does 300 healing a second. So, if you have someone standing still with a Transcendence, have a Widow, like it's a Tracer, Widow headshot kills them in Transcendence. You a fair ult nano damage boost, put Nerissa on it, Mercy damage boost, and put it into something like a Winston with Trans, it's gonna take it out, because it's too much damage. So, like a Nano Blade that's damaged boost by Mercy, gonna take them, like the supports out, because it's a one-shot kill. It's gonna take tanks out, with enough other DPS coming in, you're gonna take them out, because Transcendence only does 300 healing per second. Now, it's still a huge amount, and more than most people can even put out in the game, but if you can still take that, like, still put in the damage to take that out. So therefore, knowing that, if you Transcendence into a grab, one, you have that, the Ana grenade that takes it out, like, no more healing. It's essentially a dud, and you just lost someone that you can't get back for another good 5 seconds. And then you just caught and grab and you're dead. And you just essentially waste an ult. Or, you can initiate it. If you do use that initiation, now, none of you people can die. Unless they then use their ults. So, they have to use 3 of their ults to kill everyone there through the Transcendence. You only use Transcendence. You get 3 of their ults out for your 1. Or, you know, you just go in, and let's say they can't output that damage. You now have 6, 7, however long Transcendence goes, or however long you got to the point Transcendence already gone. You have that much time to just put in 3 damage, because they can't do anything back. You then put in that damage, and they can't do anything.
Yeah.
They have to just
hold on, give me a
hide.
Give me a second, I'll be right back.
Yeah, they have to hide, run, get their own heals, or if they're close to ult, like they're like at 90 ult, they can put in the damage and just try and get their ult. It's gonna give them a target on the back, because if they're still attacking, oh, it's probably bad to have their ult, let's take them out. And if you're again still shot, you're gonna know, oh, over there, take them out, they're still attacking. So, still very good initiation if you know how to use it right.
Alright, I'm back. Yeah, but I understand. Right now we're having subs coming in. And I am melting in my room, so I'm gonna turn on my AC.
I've had the AC on the whole time I do.
I have a question, can you hear it?
Can you hear mine?
No, I can't hear yours. I'm just asking you to hear mine, because mine's pretty loud. Because over here in Michigan, you don't have AC components or whatever. You have a heater.
I think I hear it, but I only hear it when you're talking.
Oh, okay. That's AFC.
Yeah.
Hear it.
You can hear it, but only when you're talking.
Yeah. Okay, let me just turn it off and just let me use the fan. And then after I'm done with the game, I'll turn it right back on. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Alright, is that better?
I believe so.
Okay.
Oh, and apparently
Yeah,
the chat can hear both of our ACs.
yeah, I can barely hear yours because it's not even that distracting.
Yeah, well, mine's just in like the corner. I don't know if I can turn it down or not, but you can only hear it when like very softly. I think. I have no clue. It's loud.
Alright, now there is difficulty. It's so loud. So sorry. Hit that smash. Wait. Whatever. I was about to act like a YouTuber 101. Hit that like button there. Yeah, we have a difficult team, like two with Andromeda.
Here, I turned my fan off. Yep. Okay, I turned my fan off. So I'm fine. I've had it on the whole day.
Like, problems going on with Andromeda, and they're fixing one of their players. You can see in general chat. That's all I can say.
General chat in the Discord, right?
Yeah. Alright, I need to let my computer charge so that I can watch some anime after I'm done with this.
Yep.
Because I was watching anime until we got a commentator, which I don't mind filling in for. So I'll be right back and go get a charger.
Yes, well, as we wait for that, I'm gonna be looking at the chat in the stream. So yeah, I guess the only thing we can do is wait. I do not know what the next map is. Let's see if I can't find where the next map is. We will see.
Find it funny of how I went all around my house trying to find my computer charger. It was in my cabinet the whole time.
Yep, do we know what maps are next?
I could check, but just give me a sec. I have to put this up to charger.
Yep.
I can't wait to get my new PS4. This one isn't gonna survive no more.
Oof. Okay. So, the other Quicksilver accidentally disconnected his PS4. So now I'm here alone. Give me a minute. This is gonna be quite interesting. We're gonna have a bit of a little thing here where we're just going to try and have Discord not completely glitch out. Hey. Okay. Okay, well this is a interesting turn of events. Very interesting turn of events. Gibraltar. Next map is gonna be Gibraltar. Let's see, what are we on right now? New Bounty? Oh, where is Gibraltar? It's the Escorts. It's the very bottom. Alright, quick. Should be back. Quick shatter. I said quick soldier, not shatter. I'm bad. I can't get names. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to wait for a second. I do not know who is ready. I am fairly sure that Andromeda are ready. I do not know about Cronus. I'm just gonna ask if both teams ready, so when Quick gets back, we can immediately start it up. Flock, yes. Okay. So, yeah, turn of events. What happening? So one of the people DC'd in the casting booth, who, you know, was the owner of the game. So now, chaos is ensuing. Yeah, both teams are ready. Okay, he's back. I'm gonna have to join the group. Make owner.
So it's a long story what happened.
Yeah, I know. You DC'd by accident. Both teams are ready though. So let's go.
Alright. So what was happening is I was about to plug in my laptop and I forgot there was like I don't have space. So I accidentally plugged this wrong cord and then it just shut off everything in my room.
Damn. Okay, well we have the technical difficulties fixed, hopefully. And we now get to go to Watch Point Gibraltar, a very diverse map. Not only in the way you can play on this map, not only in the way that you can play the team comps, not only the way you can move around in the map, not only the map geography, but just across the 3 points, you have 3 very distinct ways to play that become the meta, which is the most effective tactical strategy, or no, most effective tactical advantage.
Yeah, Mercury is very good on this map, especially Widow and Hanzo. But
Yes.
Mercury could just get the high ground and I call it.
Yes, very
What would that say?
high, like very long range, very quick for the very beginning. Once you go under, it's very a brawl. At the very end, once again, it goes into like that hybrid of the first 2 areas. For this first point, the second point, very close quarters. You have the high ground. It's really just 1 floor and then the one up top, the ceiling floor. And a very open at the very end and the very beginning. Very good for different, like, goats would probably work the best there. And then the very last point, very, very open, not that much high ground. Works very good with the, I don't know, bunker comps? I feel like, or not bunker, but like Widow Hanzo comps. First is very good for bunker. Second, very good for goats. And third, very good for that multi-sniper comp.
This is a odd setup. Oh, never mind.
No, they're going right back to that goats.
Yeah, Winston goat.
And this time on Andromeda, going to be running a 2-2-2, just straight 2-2. They're going to be running the Pharah and Junkrat, both 2 high, extremely high DPS heroes, able to put out arguably the 2 most, like the most amount of DPS any 2 heroes can put out in the game on the DPS side. I don't exactly know what the 2 are, what it is, but arguably you could say those 2. Then you have the 2 healers, 2 really good comboed, and then the 2 tanks. But the pick after pick after pick. Both, no, actually it's 1, the main tank, the off tank, and then 1 healer for both are down. So it is 2-2. Stealth and Pyro both have a bit of damage taken onto them. Both gonna get that heal. Actually, not Stealth. He's still a bit low, but Fran is gonna be taken out here. Does have the ult. Jack falls as well. Grill is gonna take a lot of damage, but is able to get out. Stealth able to get that health pack in the very bottom, but is soon gonna be taken out by the rest of Cronus. So Stealth falls, and Tiggles falls as well. That's the 2 DPS ults. That's the 2 of the 3 ults that Andromeda have are now gone. Jack falls as well, who was 90 to the ult. Royal falls, who was 80. 2 great staggers here. You get those picked. The point is not being pushed. The door has to open before you can push the point. In that time, you get a pick. You get a pick or 2. That gives you such an advantage. Tickles gets put very, very low and ends up shooting the Winston, who is using that primal, has to get in very, very close for that melee damage. Ends up shooting the Winston, splash damage, kills the Pharah. And now it's just an all-out brawl. The dive is very messy. The
2-man shatter. Okay.
That
Here comes the grab. But the sound barrier won't hit the jump grab, unfortunately.
nah.
But it will get taken out either or.
All the ults came in there. We saw the coalescence. We saw the bomb. We saw the grab. We saw both sound barriers. We saw the transcendence. And throughout all that, I don't think Andromeda touched the point once through the whole second point.
Yeah. So
But Tickles gets a double kill there. Once again, very good for that long range. Widow, Hanzo, 2 snipers. Pharah could be considered a projectile sniper as well if you want to go that route. Just an airborne one. Still very good for that. Very good long range. Soldiers, McCree would work very well, very good as well. Very open, not that much high ground, still enough peppered out that you could really use that. And a
big diva bomb. Getting 3. Both healers and Winston.
As you say, there's a lot of open. It's a lot of open, and that also works in combination with that diva bomb. So much open space, you can't get behind a wall in time, and you're just taken out by the bomb. It covers a huge amount, and it encompasses so much area that there's an instant kill. If you just aren't right by a door, you're essentially gone unless you have an ability that can negate that. So very quickly, that diva bomb can be a huge asset. Tickles now gonna try and come in, gonna try and save it for the team. Everyone's getting taken out. Get 2 picks, Silver and Squirtle. They both go down. Riptide gonna come in from stealth. Gonna come in from the spawn. Gonna go all the way around. Takes out the brig. Once again, the pick's still coming through. Now the people that died to that Pharah are now back. There's still people down though. So both teams suffering casualties, gonna have to get that respawn in before they can do much else. Is still Andromeda still have to fight this no matter how many people are down or alive, and they're gonna do that best they can. They use the Winston, take out a few picks or a few names. Pharah dies, but they're still able to win that fight. Tickles is gonna have the better respawn than anyone else who died there. Very, very close. Pharah is very, very mobile when it comes to the verticality.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they don't got a pharmacy to pocket the Pharah. They're just running out plain Pharah in the sky. And Lucio and Mara.
Well, sometimes you don't need the Mercy to play the Pharah, especially in this GOATS composition where you have the Winston. You can't really dive the Pharah. We're gonna see all the ults come in. Bomb. Both sound barriers and the coalescence. Royal, first one to go down. We still see the Transcendence, the Riptide, and the bomb also alive. All of them gonna get used here. I think not the bomb from Yuki. That definitely wasn't used. Ults now being built back up. Tickles used the ult there, got completely taken out. Freehand falls as well. And that is gonna be the beginning of the end. Yuki now finally getting to use that ult. And it gets nothing. It only charges Pyro, who ends up taking out Yuki. Pyro, if he's kept alive, has that 100 charge, just gonna pile in the damage, and that's gonna just be it. If you cannot take out that 100 charge Pharah, there's not much you can do in the long run unless you're able to take out every other person, which Desire, especially with it as being Pyro, he's been so good on keeping everyone else alive on his team, especially the just the supports in general, with using that off-tank position and the bubbles. Very hard to take out the rest of the team, especially if he is at 100 charge. And that is round 3.
Yeah, right now, wait, we have a spectator. At the moment, I feel like we should not get the Junkrat. Like, the Junkrat should not be part of the dive. Sure, it's a lot of damage, but at the same time, you need somebody with, well, how would I say this? A stun. They don't have stun characters. CC. Like, a Brig would work, certain scenarios, but Mercury would be better since he got the buff. Only against tanks it works better on. It doesn't work better on boobs.
Okay, I see your point, but who would dive the stun?
Well, if they stun the Winston and Discord him, that's like an instant death target right there.
Okay.
Because so much damage.
Bubble.
Yeah.
Brig pack.
If he gets bubble.
Bubble, brig pack.
That's like a lot of outcomes between the scenarios. Yeah.
The way that goats work so well, like, I consider goats anything that has the Lucio and Brig. That is goats. What goats has become is really just 3 supports, 3 tanks. But it's the goats at its core has a Zarya, has the Brig and has a Lucio. Brig stuns, Lucio gets them in there, and Zarya puts in that 100 charge heavy damage. You also have a Reinhardt or a Winston that can go in, get a lot of damage put on them so they can charge up that Zarya. You also then have another off tank just to keep sure that the supports are alive. And then maybe, okay, I'll have a Zen as well, or maybe a Moira, because there's so much health in that pool. I can heal it, or Zen where I can now just put on discords and just pile in damage, really helping that out. It's really just that stun that Brig brings and the ability to capitalize on that stun. That's where the beginning of GOATs came from, and then everyone, you know, modified it.
Would be taken out. Yeah, right now it seems like it's a trade for trade, but Andromeda having 2 picks instead of 1.
Yes, Cronus feeling the effects.
Silver.
Yes, but Silver
already have Timo.
You see, what happened there, he went in, took a huge amount of damage, but in the taking that much damage, everyone was there, and he was in a bubble. He was putting in more damage than he was taking, and in turn, he was able to build up the ult before he died. He's already at 30, 1 health, but finally does die. The deaths start coming up for Cronus. Finally, Andromeda are able to win this, but they have to use the rally to do it. And they are running the Reinhardt Zen Goats instead of the Winston Zen Goats, which is probably better Goats in that respect, because Winston Goats is very good at taking out multiple DPS compositions, which is what Andromeda were running. Now, Cronus are running the Reinhardt Zen Goats. They're able to push in, even though they don't really have the ult advantage going in. They're very quickly able to get that ult advantage coming out. It's going to be a 4-4 ult fight coming in. Stealth is going to build that ult up, which is going to put it to 5. And that's Squirtle also going to be able to put it to 5. So the longer this fight goes, if it begins right now, favors Cronus. It goes a bit later, favors Andromeda. If it goes just a bit longer than that, it actually doesn't favor any of them. So this fight could go many, many different ways. And even if the ults do favor, it still doesn't matter. It is going to be that point where Squirtle doesn't have the ult Stealth, just barely get it.
And it seems like Andromeda would pop both support ults.
Yes. And that is quite unfortunate. You pop the Sound Barrier, pop the Transcendence, doesn't get anything.
What is the Stealth Rider grab?
Stealth Rider, that Zarya, you can't get the grab off. You don't have that team wipe ability there. Just getting the rest of the team crumbles in time that happens. Fran falls as well, and there's just not much they can do at this point. They have to back out. I really like what Yuki is doing. I like what Stealth did right there. Zen, he doesn't have his ult. He needs his ult. You need that Zen ult. Yeah. And what they did, they put the defense matrix on him. They put the bubble on him in succession, so he'd be defended while he's shooting. And then now they're gonna have the bubble. They're gonna have the shatter built. I mean, not the shatter. The defense matrix built back up. Now we did see a shatter there from Silver and the Sound Barrier coming in from Squirtle, and no picks were taken from it. In fact, they're actually losing members using those 2 ults. There's the grab. There is the rally to try and push in, grab the counter. The bomb comes in, doesn't get anything, but that pin came in, and there's just so much damage from the Zarya, and the Reinhardt combination takes everyone out, except for Yuki, who's just going to be left running to spawn with their mech between their legs. And that just end of that fight.
Well, right now, we all know that Canoris have Shatter, and that Shatter will always be really healing. At least every 1 to 2 fights. Sure, he messed up the Shatter on the high ground.
Yes, we're gonna see that initiation with the Sound Barrier from Fran. I believe it got every single person except for Yuki. There's a Shatter, though, from Silver. Transcendence from Time as well. Both Brigs are down and counter Transcendence from Tickles, and the bomb comes in from Yuki, who does die. Silver Frost as well. Shatter comes in from Jack. Time, Squirtle both go down. Pyro uses that grab, gets only 1, but that might just be it. It's only the Zarya who's at a charge disadvantage, I believe, also facing that rally as well, able to try and stall it for quite a bit. Not gonna be able to stall it out forever in that 3-1 with the rally and the Zarya with the baby diva there, that's just the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. You already have the cake, you already have the icing, and that's just a cherry on top, the baby diva there just shooting in. That's it right there, you're not able to survive in that. And that is Cronus winning their 4th map in the set.
Well, that's it. 4-0 Kanori Uganda. Right now we might be hosting some interviews.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, we can.
Cronus with a very dominating victory over Andromeda here really shows how fluid they are as a team, how cohesive they are as a team, that they're able to run the goats at such a high level. Because goats, you need to have that trust, that teamwork there. If your Ryan goes in, which is what goats based off of, and you bubble them, you all dive in with them, you all go in, you speed boost, you what is it, diva fly, whatever the ability's called, like big stun anyone's on there, just heal them up, Discord, Moira, orbs, whatever comp you're running of that you need that trust there, and you need that teamwork, that just bond that the team needs to have to be able to run the goats so cohesively, so unmitigated by any other pressures. You need to have that trust, and by how they did, they have one heck of a goats. It'd be very hard to take them out.
I agree. Well, goats is more like communication, just like dive and any other comp.
Oh, it looks brain dead. If you look at goats plays, it's brain dead. It looks brain dead, but it's all about the communication. And they have it. It's communication and teamwork. If you have those 2 basic principles down, and you're running goats, and you're a team that's been there for a while, and you know each other, you trust each other, you can very, very quickly dominate the field.
Right now we're about to do, I call it, interview with B Squirtle and Silverboot.
Okay. Well, this should be.
You can start off the questions, and I follow up.
Well, this should be fun. This is gonna be off the cuff, because I was not ready for this.
It's alright.
Okay.
Alright.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Congrats on your win today.
Hello. Thanks. Yeah. Pretty good win.
Yep. Alright.
Pretty clean.
I will start off the question. When you guys, okay, on what, I believe, what map was it? Nabambi, right? You guys was going to go mid. Yeah, they were about to go mid, but then they faked it to go on high ground. And Andromeda fell for it and thought you guys would go on the bottom. Did you guys expect it? Yeah, it was it.
What we did. We totally did not just make up our strat.
That was an
last
accident.
Totally
Yes. We were scout. We weren't exactly sure if they had moved since we scouted out with Sombra, and we weren't really sure. So we checked main to make sure they hadn't moved, and then we were gonna run up to high ground anyway. So I guess it wasn't meant to fake them out, but if they fell for it, that's fine.
Okay.
You have any question?
Let's see. With very early on, you guys ran the Zen Goats, right? And then Andromeda ran the counter comp, but it was too late. If Andromeda ran that Zen Goats from the beginning, and you were put in the opposite situation where you weren't running it, and then you swapped on, do you think you could have still won in that scenario?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Mbani where we pretty much full held them and I played Goats, I don't think they should not have tried to play Goats into us, basically. They should have played to their strengths, because clearly Ghost is not really working for them.
Yeah, because I call it seems like you guys have the upper hand when it comes to ult, charge and everything. Because they will switch to Ghosts after they got deleted on first fight.
Yeah, on Bull Sky we had Shatter and Rally after we won the first fight, and then they swapped to Goats and they were just behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it seems like I call it. Most of you guys was playing really well, especially the Shatters and the Diva Bombs coming in. And especially on what map was it again? It was your first map, Busan. You guys played out really well against the Pharah. Like, do you guys have any problems with her? Like, call outs
Not
and
really.
Mm,
Not really.
no, we pretty much just played close together, and she couldn't really get any value.
Yeah.
And yeah, we all played behind shield, and she just wasn't able to get a ton of damage, and like we had divas or barrages weren't very effective either.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I saw quite frequently throughout the game is your off tanks would frequently be there to save your off supports, like the Zenyatta. Like there was a very great example at the end of Noombani on Andromeda's attack. Zen EMP went on Zen. Immediately a Zarya bubble went on, and the Grav. They can't get through to the Zen, who's still hacked, still at like 50 HP, now starting to build up on their own, but there's a Grav there. So with the off tanks, do you think that the combination of the off tanks protecting the support so they can put in a lot of like work, just like a lot of value, do you think that played heavily into why you guys won this match?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd say
Yeah, I think
probably great. No,
we definitely stepped it up after first map, because what happened first map was that their diva was like solo diving our Zen, and like she might kill him, but then she'd just feed herself. So like after first map we were able to like adapt to that, and we're able to counteract it every time they tried to go for like a dive on our backline. Or not backline exactly, but like Zen, and well, pretty much only Zen. That's pretty much all they dove. So.
Now, I do have to ask, you were running the Reinhardt Zen goats, right? But halfway through the game, like halfway through the match, you swapped to the Winston. Was that because just the general maps you'd felt more comfortable on the Winston, or you practiced more with the Winston, or you thought the Winston would work better? Or was it like just because they were running that multiple DPS comp, you wanted the Winston so he could move around quicker and not the Reinhardt who would get like bogged down by the shield, didn't have any mobility besides a charge, and had this big shield there where he could get different angled and just taken out? So which one of the two was that? So like why did you swap to the Winston? One of the two reasons.
Well, yeah, they were playing a lot of DPS comps, and generally Winston is better against that, because like on Volskaya, for example, second point, I was able to dive the Mercy and Lucio like pretty much every fight and kill them, because they don't have any tanks to really peel for them. So it's just like those two versus like a Winston, and they generally don't win that fight, so. Yeah, basically Winston's just better against. Also, depending on, yeah, like the map geometry, like you said, depending on where they are set up, Winston's better if they're in places where you can't dislodge them with normal goats, like by rotating, so, yeah.
Okay, if you had to say what your biggest strength and weakness was, what would it be?
Strength. I'd say teamwork. Like, as you said earlier, like, we did a really good job of peeling for our Zen and, like, counteracting dives from the enemy team. And weakness,
probably me feeding.
yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's all Squirtle's fault. He's probably our biggest weakness. I'd say, probably, I'd say enemy teams playing Sombra, because our flex support generally likes to die to Sombras for no reason whatsoever. I know he's listening right now, so he'll know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I'd say just playing against, like, flankers, but we're doing, like, a lot better job now.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting that you say your greatest strength is teamwork, because the main comp you ran was goats, which is the heaviest teamwork comp in the game. So.
Yeah. It's pretty strong, I'd say. The goats.
Okay.
Well, I have no questions to ask.
Well, so quick, you got none more?
No, I don't got any questions to ask.
Okay, well, I just kind of ran through all the questions I could come up with off the cuff. So, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, if that's the end of your interview, I just want to say, yeah,
game.
GG's, and
I'm
In case
surprised I
people didn't
start
watch.
on Monday. I expected Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. No, it's a Monday game.
Yeah, not very
Ooh.
normal, but
Oh, yeah, before you
still a
guys
good game,
go,
I think.
yeah, before you guys go anywhere, we could like, you know, if any of the people were watching were like, wow, that player was great. How could I like keep an eye on them, right? Where would we find you guys?
Twitch.
Twitch, yeah, Twitter. Yeah, mainly on our teams, or not our teams Twitch. We don't really have a team Twitch, but like our individual players' Twitches and Twitters. We always announce when we're streaming on there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You
just
wanna
pretty much on Twitter.
plug those in right now?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can plug a team Twitter because we normally retweet on there when we're streaming. So yeah, anybody that's following and wants to shit talk us about running goats because it's a cheese comp, you can follow us at team__ Cronus, spelled CRNONUS. No H's, one O.
Okay.
Alright. You can wrap up the stream if you want.
Okay. Well,
Oh yeah, I
you
just have
heard.
one last thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
In case you haven't, or you weren't able to tell, for people that haven't seen our last game, or our earlier games, we're pretty good now. We kind of started off weak, but like,
Yeah.
this is our second 4-0 in a row.
Ooh.
So, we can see if we can keep the streak going.
I like it. Confidence coming in from the players of Cronus. You heard it here. Silver and Squirtle. I'd like to thank them for their time in this interview. And this has been Andromeda versus Cronus, Week 11, Game 1. I have been Arcast1258 with...
Quick Shatter XZ.
And we are signing off. Hope I'll see all of you next time. Arcast out. Peace.